Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
The act of constructing something, as a piece of machinery. The social act of assembling. They demanded the right of assembly. A public facility to meet for open discussion. A group of machine parts that fit together to form a self-contained unit. A group of persons who are gathered together for a common purpose. A unit consisting of components that have been fitted together. Writing in a fictional form. The act of constructing something, as a piece of machinery. The act of making something, a product, from raw materials. The synthesis and fabrication of single crystals. The deliberate act of deviating from the truth. A deliberately false or improbable account. A system of components assembled together for a particular purpose. Several things grouped together or considered as a whole. A group of persons together in one place. The social act of assembling. The act of gathering something. A group of persons together in one place. The social act of assembling. Sewing consisting of small folds or puckers made by pulling tight a thread in a line of stitching. A public facility to meet for open discussion. A public meeting or assembly for open discussion. A public facility to meet for open discussion. The commercial activity involved in repairing old structures or constructing new ones. Their main business is home construction. The act of constructing something. During the construction we had to take a detour. An interpretation of a text or action. They put an unsympathetic construction on his conduct. The creation of a construct. The process of combining ideas into a congruous object of thought. A group of words that form a constituent of a sentence and are considered as a single unit. I concluded from his awkward constructions that he was a foreigner. A thing constructed. A complex entity constructed of many parts. She wore her hair in an amazing construction of whorls and ribbons. Drawing a figure satisfying certain conditions as part of solving a problem or proving a theorem. The assignment was to make a construction that could be used in proving the Pythagorean theorem. The commercial activity involved in repairing old structures or constructing new ones. Workers in the building trades. The act of constructing something. His hobby was the building of boats. A structure that has a roof and walls and stands more or less permanently in one place. There was a 3-story building on the corner. The occupants of a building. The entire building complained about the noise. Action taken by a group of people. The act of installing something, as equipment. The telephone installation took only a few minutes. A building or place that provides a particular service or is used for a particular industry. A formal entry into an organization or position or office. He gave a speech as part of his installation into the Hall of Fame. A building or place that provides a particular service or is used for a particular industry. The assembly plant is an enormous facility. A natural effortlessness. They conversed with great facility. Skillful performance or ability without difficulty. He was famous for his facility as an archer. A service that an organization or a piece of equipment offers you. A cell phone with internet facility. Something designed and created to serve a particular function and to afford a particular convenience or service. A motor vehicle with 4 wheels, usually propelled by an internal combustion engine. A group that controls the activities of a political party. He was endorsed by the Democratic machine. A device for overcoming resistance at one point by applying force at some other point. An efficient person. The boxer was a magnificent fighting machine. An intricate organization that accomplishes its goals efficiently. The war machine. Any mechanical or electrical device that transmits or modifies energy to perform or assist in the performance of human tasks. Make by machinery. Turn, shape, mold, or otherwise finish by machinery. An organization regarded as part of a larger social group. The coach said the offensive unit did a good job. Any division of quantity accepted as a standard of measurement or exchange. The dollar is the United States unit of currency. An assemblage of parts that is regarded as a single entity. The team is a unit. A single undivided natural thing occurring in the composition of something else. Units of nucleic acids. An individual or group or structure or other entity regarded as a structural or functional constituent of a whole. Reduced the number of units and installations. A single undivided whole. An idea is not a unit that can be moved from one brain to another. Not injured or harmed. An assemblage of parts that is regarded as a single entity. How big is that part compared to the whole? Acting together as a single undiversified whole. Exhibiting or restored to vigorous good health. Whole in mind and body. To a complete degree or to the full or entire extent, whole is often used informally for wholly. A whole new idea. All of something including all its component elements or parts. Europe considered as a whole. Including all components without exception, being one unit or constituting the full amount or extent or duration, complete. Gave his whole attention. Of siblings, having the same parents. Whole brothers and sisters. The act of convoking. A group gathered in response to a summons. The act of convoking. The social act of assembling for some common purpose. The act of joining together as one. The social act of assembling for some common purpose. His meeting with the salesman was the high point of his day. The act of joining together as one. There was no meeting of minds. A formally arranged gathering. Next year the meeting will be in Chicago. A place where things merge or flow together, especially rivers. A casual or unexpected convergence. He still remembers their meeting in Paris. A small informal social gathering. There was an informal meeting in my living room. The social act of assembling for some common purpose. The lovers met discreetly for the purposes of sexual congress. The legislature of the United States government. A meeting of elected or appointed representatives. A National Legislative Assembly. Act of marshalling and organizing and making ready for use or action. Act of assembling and putting into readiness for war or other emergency. Act of marshalling and organizing and making ready for use or action. Mobilization of the country's economic resources. Act of assembling and putting into readiness for war or other emergency. Mobilization of the troops. The spatial property of being crowded together. Great and constant diligence and attention. Complete attention. Intense mental effort. Bringing together military forces. Increase in density. Strengthening the concentration, as of a solute in a mixture, by removing diluting material. The strength of a solution. Number of molecules of a substance in a given volume. The act of congregating. A group of people who adhere to a common faith and habitually attend a given church. The act of congregating. An assemblage of people or animals or things collected together. A congregation of children pleaded for his autograph. The act of convening. Orthodoxy as a consequence of being conventional. Something regarded as a normative example. The convention of not naming the main character. The act of convening. A large formal assembly. Political convention. Diplomacy, an international agreement. An assembly of parts welded together. A unit assembled separately but designed to fit with other units in a manufactured product. A midnight meeting of witches to practice witchcraft and sorcery. In the Middle Ages it was supposed to be a demonic orgy. Persons who administer justice. A level shelf of land interrupting a declivity, with steep slopes above and below. A strong worktable for a carpenter or mechanic. A long seat for more than one person. Exhibit on a bench. Bench the poodles at the dog show. Law, the seat for judges in a courtroom. Take out of a game, of players. The magistrate or judges sitting in court in judicial capacity to compose the court collectively. The reserve players on a team. Our team has a strong bench. A room used primarily for sleeping. A deliberative or legislative or administrative or judicial assembly. The upper chamber is the Senate. A natural or artificial enclosed space. An enclosed volume in the body. The chambers of his heart were healthy. A room where a judge transacts business. Place in a chamber.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.